We created this outline to help alleviate some of the concerns teachers may have introducing a new student into their classroom community halfway through the academic year. This guide is designed to incorporate the student into the classroom community using responsive classroom, the morning meeting method. As a group, we created a morning meeting that is safe and inviting for the new student. We also added tips for teacher preparation. Tips for teacher preparation include all students should wear name tags to help the new student feel comfortable and learn names more quickly. Buddies will assist the new student in learning routines and class procedures. An example of a buddy would be a hallway buddy, a math or reading buddy, and a bus buddy. Buddies should be varied so students become more comfortable quickly. Having different buddies would help the student meet different students. The student binder would include class rules, procedures, and all handouts given in the beginning of the year.
The day before, we would explain to students through our news and announcements that we will have a new student coming to our class. We would talk about ways that we can make our new student feel welcome and a part of our classroom community. We would say something like, "Remember how we've talked about empathy and imagining how another person might feel? Think about going to a new school. How would you feel? What would you want to know?" Or another question, what can be challenging for a new student? What can be challenging for us when we welcome a new student? What can we do to make our new student feel welcomed? So after an explicit discussion with the class, the students are now ready for this new student's arrival, and they are most likely anticipating it. And to tie in the academic portion of our news and announcements, we would explain that we will each be writing a letter to our new student. So during shared writing or writer's workshop, the students would start writing letters welcoming the new student to the classroom. The students can share something about themselves in the letter, ask a question, give the new student insight into a part of our day, or something that is important for the student to know about our classroom. If the teacher has time to prepare this, it would be a great way to make the new student feel welcomed, and these letters can go right into a new student binder. However, even if a teacher does not have sufficient notice, having a new student binder set aside is very important. It will make the child feel welcomed and show them and parents that the teacher was prepared for their arrival.
Some things that you may want to include in the new student binder are a survey for parents, including the interest inventory, which has their goals for their child, both social and academic, and their preferred way of being contacted.
The teacher should also include their preferred way of being contacted and the link to their website.
The teacher should have an introduction letter for the new student, welcoming them to the class.
And a class picture if it has been taken already so the student can become familiar with faces and names.
The class schedule should also be included with important dates to remember.
The teacher should also include a list of procedures and rules.
And also a parent sign-up sheet for volunteering and any other important notices that were sent home prior and are still pertinent.
It would also be important to reach out to the parents of the new student and schedule a meeting with them so you can talk about the same information that you would talk about during an open house.
Good morning, third graders. There are both similarities and differences in our class. We love to celebrate diversity. In the box below, write down your favorite color. After you are done, please meet us on the rug. We chose not to highlight the new student in the news and announcements because we didn't want her to feel uncomfortable. We don't know the student yet, so we don't know what kind of personality she has. Instead, we just focused on similarities and differences within the classroom and talked about how we accept diversity and build a community. On the day of the new student's arrival for the morning meeting, the greeting should be safe, not silly, and comfortable. An example of this is to have an inner and outer circle divided by counting off by ones and twos. What you do is you introduce yourself and shake hands with the person in the other circle. You then rotate to the right so that way each student gets a chance to say good morning to everybody.
We chose to do a lightning share for the morning meeting because the student will feel comfortable sharing within the group when all the students are participating. Our lightning share STEM question is, what is your favorite thing to do in school?
For a group activity in the morning meeting, we chose Just Like Me. It's where each student walks into the middle of the circle and shares a fact about themselves. It can be their favorite food, color, animal, siblings, pet, favorite sport, anything they want to share about themselves. If a student in the class shares that same fact, you walk into the circle and say, just like me. This shows similarities and differences among the class. We chose this for the first day for the new student because she will feel more comfortable and see who has things in common with her.
Of course, there are so many possibilities for what you can do during your morning meeting on a day that a new student arrives. But this plan is designed for comfort purposes and to allow the new student to get to know his or her new peers in a fun way. The take-home message is that it is so important to be prepared with a plan and materials for the arrival of a new student. We hope that this information is useful if you ever have to welcome a new student in your classroom halfway through the academic year.